So you think you have what it takes to become the next GD legend, huh? You think you're gonna be the next person that just starts bending demon levels over your knee and just starts slapping them right in the butt. You think you're gonna be staring a demon level right in its face, and then you're just gonna lick its eye. Well, I have some news for you. The road is a long and arduous one, and there's no way to get really good overnight. It takes a lot of patience, because there's gonna be a lot of failure on the way to getting in the top. You can do it though, don't get discouraged, but just keep in mind that there's a lot of time that's gonna have to go into becoming a good player. That's not to say there aren't certain things that can't expedite it though. There are certainly some tips that can get you quicker to the top, and these tips I'm going to give to you today because I should have been doing these things that I'm about to tell you. I should have been doing these for a long time. I could have gotten better a lot quicker if I had used these tips, but I was very complacent with my skill level for a long time, for like a year and a half. So listen, sit down, I'm gonna teach you some things to become a good player from the start of when you start playing Geometry Dash to hopefully one day when you're a really good player. Now, there are a lot of specific things I will be leaving out. I'm gonna be talking about the theory of becoming a good player, things that you should be doing, but I can't actually physically go over to you and flick a switch and make you a good player. There's no easy button for it. I can't just tell you to go practice this certain challenge and then you're gonna be amazing. There are a lot of things you have to practice, and I'm gonna set you on that path, but a lot of things are up to you to figure out. Because everyone's different, right? There's no one way, but I'm definitely gonna give you a boost if you listen and follow these instructions. So you fired up the game, Geometry Dash, wow, look at this screen, I wanna be good at this game, so you know what? Before we're even gonna click on this button here, before we even go there, you wanna click on that big button right in the middle, and you're gonna start with Stereo Madness. Now, these first levels are pretty easy. You shouldn't have much of a problem. Well, you will have some problem, dry out, all of a sudden you get reverse gravity, but the nice thing about these original levels is they slowly trickle in new game modes and new things, switching from left to right, reverse gravity, all that. You need to get at least kind of comfortable with each one before you move on. You have to do the Rob Top levels. They're completely necessary all the way up to the demons. The first little hiccup you're gonna come to is Clutterfunk. Everyone comes to Clutterfunk and they think, my gosh, this is so hard. There's tighter rocket spaces. The memorization part at the end is crazy because it's reverse gravity and a bunch of jump pads, but there are gonna be a lot of levels like that. So it's just a hump that you have to get over. You have to get over Clutterfunk, and you can do it, but you just gotta practice it a lot. And the thing about practice that I'm going to give you a little hint on, let's just go in right now. A lot of people use auto checkpoints. Auto checkpoints are garbage, in my mind. Like, look at this. Look at how many checkpoints are coming up. Well, let's say if I die here. So I die there, and I start immediately, but what if I wanted to practice one section back? Like, there was kind of a hard part I wanted to practice, but I can't go back now because I used auto checkpoints. Well, I could get rid of some, but if you manually place checkpoints, you can manually place where you practice. Let me show you an example. So we get to the rocket section, we go, whoa, this is kind of a tight space. Oh my god, and I die here. And now I just start right there, but what is the point in that? Because you're gonna wanna practice that section from beginning to end. You're gonna want to practice from well before you died, because the mistake you made that caused you to die was probably before that checkpoint ever placed. So you're not really practicing with auto checkpoints. You're not getting much out of it. You wanna turn that off. That is the first pitfall that I find a lot of people get into, is auto checkpoints make practice, it makes practice seem easier, but you don't want practice to be easy because you want to actually practice. You want it to be difficult because normal is difficult. So turn auto checkpoints off. So a lot of people will put checkpoints like this, like right at the beginning of a section. And you know what? I do too. It is really good practice to practice an entire section all in its glory. And then they put another one when they get to the next section. But that's not the best because, you know, there are a lot of levels where the transition is the thing that kills you, because the transition is hard. So in this level right here in Clutterfunk, the transitions are pretty kind, right? Like, they seem pretty auto, so it's not really that big of a deal. But in a lot of levels, the transitions will kill you, and so you need to put checkpoints, like, be in the middle of each section so you can practice the transitions, as well as practicing the sections from beginning to end. So you need to practice the sections in different ways, from beginning to end, also maybe from the middle of a section to the middle of another section, because you want to practice the transition. Transitions, they kill you a lot. It's important to practice them. Especially when you get to harder levels, there are some difficult transitions that you're gonna need to get used to. So that's just a practice tip, and that might even help you with some of the original RobTop levels. So yeah, this level is definitely a step up, but it can be done. A lot of people find this part hard because it's quite memorization based. Even even I'm just dying there, okay. So, you know, and there's a lot of like fakes where it looks like you're supposed to jump, but you don't really. And you know, it's hard. This is a big jump up from the one before it, which is what, like, X-Step or something, or Time Machine, right? It's a big step up, but it can be done. It can be done, and this is really gonna help your muscle memory, how to properly hit jump rings and stuff. Clutterfunk has to be overcome on your road to become a good player. Theory of Everything is the next one. That will seem easy. Electroman Adventures is pretty tough, not as hard as Clutterfunk. Skip Clubstep for now. Skip Electrodynamics as well. Those two are very tough. Do Blast Processing next to get used to the wave. Next, do Hexagon Force. Next, you can do Geometrical Dominator, get used to the robot. And then you're gonna move on to either Clubstep. I would say Clubstep and then Theory of Everything 2. So Theory of Everything 2 will seem a whole lot easier once you've done Clubstep. Clubstep is gonna be a massive challenge. This took me 3,000 attempts when I did it first. This took Riot something like 8,000 attempts. Just let that sink in. Riot is an amazing player. He's a pro. It took him 8,000 attempts to beat this first, but you know what? He persevered, and he became an amazing player. Some of you and some people will be really frustrated at the beginning. The beginning is the hardest. Overcoming that first hump of just getting comfortable with the controls, it's really difficult, okay? It's the most frustrating, and when I was playing Clubstep, I was getting really angry, practicing it over and over. But if you get over this hurdle of Clubstep, then you're going to be well on the way to beating harder levels. Now, how do you beat Clubstep? It just takes practice. Use those practice tips that I told you about, and you just have to do it, okay? There's no easy way to do it. It's gonna take a lot of time, it's gonna take practice. Up to this point, the way you've controlled the game hasn't really been that important, whether you've used the up key, you've used the mouse, you've used a controller. It hasn't really mattered because, you know, you haven't really needed to use it. There hasn't been like super hard bits. But right now, you need to start going with what you're most comfortable with, and everyone is different. I use the controller. I feel more in control with the controller than anything because I've been a console gamer my whole life. I have a lot of consoles, so I use the controller. I'm really comfortable with it. If you find a control scheme that you're really comfortable with early on and stick with it, you'll get better much quicker. You know what? Some people even proclaim that they play the best with a tablet, but those people are crazy. Those people are weird. How could you play it the best with a tablet? It doesn't even make sense to me. So Clubstep is a beast that can be overcome. It is a beast that can be overcome, guys. Like, it's gonna feel so hard because it is so much harder. Although, if you can beat Electrodynamics, which is what you should be doing after Hexagon Force, by the way. You should do Electrodynamics after Hexagon Force, then, you know, you can do anything. It's something that can be done. It's not impossible. It will feel impossible. You get to this section and be like, oh my god, it's so hard. But this gets you so much more comfortable with the ship. And it'll help you so much. And it'll help you with memorization, because there's a bit of memorization here. It'll help you with ball timings. But most importantly, I mean, the ship sections are the hardest in Clubstep for sure. So, it'll help you with UFO timings, like right here, in between. That's like a little bit hard for people. That was hard for me when I first got there. Uh-oh, this is gonna be memorization, isn't it? Uh-oh, have I forgotten what to do? Okay, there we go. Okay. Boom, boom, and then we gotta jump. I just forgot. It's been a while. I probably could have done it if I remembered, but Clubstep's very doable, right? That was only one attempt. I know I'm pretty good at the game, but you just gotta get it into your muscle memory, like how the ship functions. And I would say when you're starting out, the icon, the cube parts, you can memorize all the timings for those. The timings you can do well right off the bat. You can do cube timings, right? But the hardest thing for people, and even UFO timings too, they're not going to be too hard, especially with this difficulty of level. They're not going to be that hard right off the bat. But my god, the ship is going to give you a lot of problems, because the ship is all over the place. It's really easy to get out of control, right? With the UFO and the cube, it feels like it's very controlled, right? You know, you push a button and it does one certain thing. But with the ship, it's all about how long do you press the button. If you let go of the button, you know, you start plummeting quicker, right? So there's a lot of timings and presses you need to get comfortable with, and Clubstep will help to remedy your problems. You have to overcome Clubstep. And then after that, Theory of Everything 2 won't seem so bad to you. You know, the wave part's not that bad in it. The ship parts aren't going to be that bad compared to Clubstep. You'll do this, and if you can do Theory of Everything 2 easier than Clubstep, then you know you've improved, and you know you're well on your way to becoming a good player. Alright, you did it! You finished all of RobTop's levels except for Deadlocked. That's optional because that is significantly harder than Clubstep or Theory of Everything 2. And now you want to become a better player. Well, how do you do it? Well, you start looking for easy demons. You start looking for some demons like maybe X by Triaxis, right? This is a good one. It's pretty easy. There's a couple other ones. X is a good start. Verity by Serpunge. It's a medium demon now, but that's a good start too. It's really good for portal practice. Don't go right for the hard demons because you're gonna get discouraged. You go for those and you're gonna say, I'll never be able to do this. You are going to be so discouraged. I remember that Cataclysm video where I played Electrodynamics version 2 and then went into Cataclysm. Yeah, I was very discouraged from playing harder demons because of that, and I thought to myself, I'm never gonna do it. But you can, and you gotta stay positive, but don't bite off more than you can chew. Start easy. So you're gonna wanna start looking at certain things to practice. Some levels focus on the wave, like 9 circles level. Some focus on everything, which is you're gonna need to get used to that. You know, like Toxin Lab II focuses on like many different game modes. So there's different levels that you need to practice that practice, you know, different things. So let's say you wanna practice the wave. Go to Problematic. That's an easy 9 circles level. You're gonna wanna start here, an easy demon. Go to Problematic. Get comfortable with that. I mean, even me, this took me a lot of attempts. It took me like 1,400 attempts, maybe 1,500 when I first came here and did it. And that was a lot, but it's a good step to getting better at the wave. You gotta have patience. After Problematic, if you want to get even better at the wave, you can go to levels like Fractured Circles, move up to Jawbreaker, then 9 circles, and you want to take steps, you know, little steps. But you wouldn't finish Problematic and then try to do Crimson Clutter, because you wouldn't be able to do it and you'd get discouraged, right? You take baby steps, but even though I say take baby steps, do not keep on trying to do levels that are around the same difficulty. If you beat Problematic, don't do like Ultimate Fairy Dust or Ultimate Paracosm next. Those are easy, right? Those are around the same difficulty or even easier. What you want to do is you want to step up a little bit. Because if you don't step up a little bit, then you're not improving. And that was my problem for a year. Last year, I just kept on doing easy demon, sometimes medium demon, easy demon, and I didn't improve, you know, because I would do all these demons and then I try a hard demon and I go, oh, I can't do this. It's so hard. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. And so I didn't improve for like a year because I kept on doing easy demons. I wasn't testing myself. You need to incrementally try harder things. And if you keep on doing that, keep on challenging yourself just a little bit more, then all of a sudden you're gonna be good at the game. A good one for flying practice is Gold Temple by Serpunge. That's really good. It's not that tough, but it has this flying section where there's lots of spikes and it's kind of tight. It's the hardest part of the level. Really good practice. It's an amazing level as well. There are some levels to practice. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to, in the description down below, also in the comment section, I'm gonna leave you some ideas for some good levels to practice that are easy. Do all those levels in the easy demon section, then do all the levels in the medium demon section, then do the hard demon section, and like, when you get to the hard demons, when you start getting there, you should have enough knowledge about the game to know, like, what demons to play to get better, and then it's just up to you whatever ones you want to play, right? So, yeah, I'll give you some good, easy, and medium demons to start with to work your way up. Also, one tip that I just can't stress enough is if you want to get good at this game, you should be playing the game. Like, I mean, I think that goes without saying, but, like, for example, just for shits and giggles, go do the daily each day. Do just a couple featured levels, just play them, because what that's gonna do is, even though these are some easier levels, right? Some of these levels are gonna introduce some sort of gameplay mechanic, maybe that you haven't seen before. And you're gonna go, wow, that's really interesting. I never even thought about putting that portal placement there and doing something like that. So the more levels you play, even if they're easier levels, just on a daily basis, the more knowledge you're gonna get about how the physics work. And if you come to that later on in a harder level, you're gonna be able to react accordingly. So just playing the game, actually, it just helps, even if they're easier levels, right? But don't spend, like, too much time playing, like, all the easy levels. You don't have to. But, you know, just every once in a while, just play a bunch of levels, you know, maybe 2-3 times a week, just that are featured or daily. It will help improve your skills. Also, once you've got some easy demons under your belt, I would say you're ready to do some challenges. Now, there are some great videos of, you know, like Quasar has like a straight fly video, how to straight fly. There are some great, very specific tutorials, how to get better at the wave. You can search for those. I'll put a link to some of those also in the description. I don't need to show you much on that because there's already great videos that go into great detail about how to do that. And, you can follow some of those, and that will really improve your wave game, your ship game in particular, because those are very skill-based. But even if you're having a problem with, like, a UFO, just go search, put UFO challenge, and you can practice. There's all kinds of different levels that you can use to practice, just to get your muscle memory. Let's check this out. This is pretty easy, right? I don't know if this gets harder, but let's see. Okay, level 2. Wow, okay, I see. I thought those were gonna kill me. Alright. Alright! So yeah, this is decent actually, because it's it has some varied gameplay, right? And yeah, that's, ooh, level 4, huh? So yeah, doing stuff like this, like that will help you overall, right? You can do some challenges, you can look them up, and you want to make sure that you're not practicing the same way to do something over and over again. Like, straight fly practice is important, but straight flying is not everything. There are some straight fly sections in some levels, and when you get to some extreme demons, like the straight fly in those levels can be the hardest part of those levels, but how often do you see a straight fly when you're doing easy, medium, or hard demons? Not that much. So what's more important is to practice maybe going from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, and actually getting used to the timing so you can go up exactly to the top of the screen without hitting the top, right? Because a lot of people, a big problem they have is when they gotta go all the way from the bottom to the top of the screen, they just hold down the button and they smack the top because they hold it down for too long. But that's not good, because some levels will kill you if you smack the top of the screen. So you need to practice exactly how long to hold down the button to get to the top of the screen without actually hitting the top. That's something you need to practice. That's something that's probably more important than straight fly if you're like doing easy and medium demons. And there are various challenges that you can do to do that. If you just look up ship challenge, you will find some. Now, there are a lot of straight fly ship challenges, but there are some like really cool ones that test various different things, right? Yeah, see, this is a straight fly. So you've done a bunch of easy demons, maybe you've done a couple medium demons. A good next logical step would be to finish all the gauntlets. I would say if you can do the demon gauntlet, there are some tough levels here, especially Mechanical Showdown is pretty hard, and Hell, and Sidestep. I had a hard time with Sidestep, because it has very fast gameplay, right? So if you can do the demon gauntlet, then you're well on your way to start doing hard demons. And I mean, if you're doing hard demons, you're already a pretty good player at that point. So pat yourself on the back, right? You're pretty decent. Now, one thing I can't stress enough is remember to always incrementally challenge yourself. Always try something just a little bit harder than the last thing that you did, or maybe that tests something different than what you're used to. Always try that. It's very important. I am going to mention something about 144 Hz monitors right now, and When you're starting to do hard demons and stuff, or I would say even insane demons, 144 hertz might be something that you'd want to look into getting. While you're doing easy and medium demons, 144 hertz is not going to help you, okay? There are not tight enough sections for it to really make a difference. 144 hertz, when you get into hard levels where it's really chaotic and really hectic, oh yeah, it makes a difference because you can see easier. For me, 60 hertz hurt my eyes because it wasn't as smooth. 144 hertz is smoother, and so it's easier for me to focus for longer periods of time. And that's what made a huge difference for me, right? It was really nice, and it does help. But 144 hertz isn't the reason why I became a good player. A lot of people think that, and there's this misconception that if you buy one, you're gonna be good. But what happened to me is before, like I said, there was a year where I only played easy demons. I didn't play anything else. I was playing easy demon, easy demon, easy demon, easy demon, and then I tried to jump up to Forest Temple, which is a hard demon, and I got my ass kicked. It took me like 7,000 attempts to do because I wasn't incrementally challenging myself, and then I took this massive leap to try to do Forest Temple, and oh my god, it was tough, right? And shit, that really rocked my world. So anyways, it was easy demon, blah, blah, blah. And then I did Fairy Dust. And then I decided I'm gonna buy 144 hertz because I wanted to try Poltergeist. And I just wanted one anyways for other gaming as well. And yeah, it did make a difference. But it's because what happened is I got 144 hertz and I thought to myself, I have no excuse anymore. I should practice. And I started practicing more and I started challenging myself. But when I started challenging myself, that's when I started truly getting better at the game. You can't get complacent. You can't. You gotta challenge yourself. You'll get better at the game. That's what happened to me the last few months. Always challenging myself. Like I said, Poltergeist, Supersonic, up to Necropolis, and then Cataclysm, right? Gotta challenge yourself. And if you challenge yourself, you're gonna get better at the game quicker than if you just, like, were just playing demon levels. Just trying to farm demons. Because a lot of people don't fall into this pitfall. They say, I'm amazing at the game. I have like 10,000 stars. Well, you know, if you just only played easy levels and you got 10,000 stars, I'm sure you're pretty good at easy levels, but you're still not good at the game. No. Even if you've just, like, farmed easy demons, right? You're still not that good. You gotta challenge yourself with harder and harder levels all the time. I'm sure there are people that have, like, 400 demons, and I only have 160 demons that, you know, they're not as good as me because I just play easy demons, right? You gotta always challenge yourself, and that's how you get good. That's how the pros became pro. I'm not a pro, I'm just a good player, but these are the tips that got me to where I am to be able to beat Cataclysm, right? Just thought I'd drop this video to help some of you out. I always get asked how to become a better player, and I know this isn't comprehensive. There are a lot of fine details that I probably left out, but, you know, a lot of those things, the very specific tutorials, you can find those on YouTube, how to exactly get better at the wave, how to exactly get better at the ship, and it just comes down to playing more and challenging yourself. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, hope this helped. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, peace.